There is a particular kind of weight that settles in a room full of people, a quiet pressure that others don't seem to feel. You enter a bustling airport or a loud festival, and an internal switch flips. It's not about fear. It's a deep, instinctual hum. A signal from a part of you that is profoundly aware. While everyone else is swept up in the noise, you feel every current. Why is that? And why does it leave you so drained? If you've ever asked yourself these questions, you are far from alone. What you are experiencing is not a flaw. It is a feature of a particular kind of mind. Not everyone is built for the noise. This isn't about being shy or antisocial. Many who light up a room in a small gathering feel their energy vanish in a packed one. The issue isn't the people. It's what the environment does to your sense of self. Let's explore the hidden layers of why this happens, starting with a system built for a different world. Our nervous systems carry ancient blueprints. For most of human history, a dense, chaotic environment meant less control and more potential threats. The mind was designed to track movement, to listen for the unusual. Modern crowds aren't dangerous, but that primal wiring remains active. It's not panic. It's a heightened state of vigilance. Your mind is whispering, there is too much to track. This doesn't mean you are overly sensitive. It means you are perceptively attuned. Your internal world is rich and active. And when the external world becomes a storm of inputs, that inner world has a powerful reaction. But that's just the beginning. There is something more personal at play, connected to identity itself. People who retreat from crowds often possess a reflective, observant nature. They think in layers. They notice subtleties in a glance or a tone. They feel things intensely and seek meaning in their interactions. When a mind like this is placed into a field of constant motion, it doesn't get quieter. It gets louder. Every passing stranger is a story. Every sound is a demand on your attention. The crowd becomes a tidal wave of unprocessed signals. Your brain was never meant to compute so much data at once. And then there is the matter of space. Not just physical, but psychological. Some individuals need a buffer around their thoughts to feel grounded. It's an emotional perimeter. A crowded room collapses that boundary. It presses in on your mental space, making it hard to hear your own thoughts. Even a calm person can feel mentally claustrophobic. It's a subtle, quiet compression. There's a symbolism here, too. A crowd can feel like the world's demands made physical loud, pressing, and endless. For a thoughtful mind, it's like being pulled in countless directions without taking a single step. You feel disconnected from the inner voice you use to navigate life. Some spirits need quiet to hear themselves, and crowds are the very definition of noise. But there's a reason your awareness is so sharp. Many who feel this way learned from a young age to be hyper-aware. Perhaps you had to read the emotional weather in a room. Maybe you grew up in an environment where being alert was a necessity. This skill becomes automatic. In a crowd, this ability goes into overdrive. You are scanning, interpreting, and predicting constantly. It's like running a dozen complex programs in the background of your mind. No one sees it, but you feel the drain on your processing power. There is also a philosophical unease. Crowds highlight the relentless speed of life. Everyone rushing, everyone wrapped in their own journey. It prompts a quiet existential question. Where do I fit in all this? Why does a space full of humanity sometimes feel more isolating than an empty park? That is the central paradox. Crowds don't always foster connection. They can highlight a lack of it. This isn't about physical loneliness. It's about emotional resonance. People who dislike crowds often crave genuine interaction, conversations with depth, moments that feel authentic. A crowd offers proximity without intimacy, presence without true connection. It feels emotionally shallow because the environment forces everything to be rushed. If you value realness, that energy feels hollow. You feel surrounded by motion but starved of substance. There is another profound strength here. You know your own energy. You recognize your limits. You understand that your mind doesn't operate well in chaos. This awareness is a form of intelligence, not a weakness. Yet, many misunderstand this feeling, thinking they need to be fixed. The truth is, disliking crowded places doesn't make you broken. It makes you human in a specific, thoughtful way. It means your mind is tuned to emotional frequencies over environmental static. It means you process the world deeply. You value presence over pressure. Your internal world is vibrant and sensitive. Some souls connect through quiet, not through noise. The world often expects everyone to thrive in the same loud, fast rhythm. When you don't fit that mold, you might think something is wrong, but nothing is wrong. You simply operate on a different psychological frequencies, lower, more reflective, more observant. You feel the world more than you watch it. You listen more than you speak. And that kind of mind is not built for overstimulation, because overstimulation isn't just about the senses. It's an emotional flood. But this discomfort isn't just about feeling overwhelmed. It's also about a loss of control. In a space full of strangers, predictability vanishes. You can't anticipate movements. You can't manage your personal space. The mind loves patterns, and a crowd is a chaos of unpredictable variables. The body responds not with terror, but with a steady, tensioner, low-grade unease. It's your system whispering, "This environment does not match my internal rhythm," and that whisper is persistent. There is one more layer, a quiet truth. People who feel this way often have incredibly rich inner lives. Their thoughts have texture, their feelings have nuance, their imagination is a constant, active landscape. The outer world can sometimes be too loud for this inner world to exist freely. Placing such a person in a noisy, crowded environment doesn't erase their inner world, it suppresses it. And that suppression creates a unique discomfort that's difficult to articulate. You feel it in your chest, in your breathing, in the fog that settles over your thoughts. The reason is simple. Your inner self needs room, and crowds shrink that room until you struggle to access your own core. It's not a disorder. It's a different way of being. And understanding this can change everything. You are not strange. You are not too fragile. You are someone whose mind listens more than it shouts. Someone who experiences the world with depth instead of skimming its surface. Someone who needs space to remain connected to who they are. And that is a profound strength. Once you understand this, you see your reaction isn't random. It's your mind protecting something precious. Your focus, your energy, your emotional balance. Every person has a capacity for stimulation. Some fill up slowly, some fill up quickly. If you drain fast in crowds, it's because your mind is processing far more than you know. You're not just hearing noise. You're absorbing the emotional undertones, the subtle shifts in body language, the fragments of 100 different stories. You process reality in high definition, and high-definition minds exhaust their resources faster. This is why you can feel so tired after a busy event where nothing happened. The fatigue is from the processing. You've run a marathon inside your mind. There's also a unique relationship with attention. Your attention is a valuable resource, given intentionally. In a crowd, that attention is fractured, forced to scatter in a dozen directions. That fragmentation feels deeply unnatural. Some people are energized by external chaos. You are drained by it because it clouds your internal clarity. And your clarity is what you value most. There's an emotional dimension to the quiet pressure of being near many people with no emotional tether. Humans need connection, but crowds offer only physical proximity. For someone who values resonance, this disconnect feels heavy. You can be in a sea of people and feel profoundly unseen. This is why quiet environments appeal to you. Not because you dislike others, but because you seek genuine bonds over sheer presence. You want conversations that matter. You want moments that feel rooted. Another factor is predictability. Crowds erase it. Your eyes don't know where to rest. Your mind is constantly scanning for a stable point that isn't there. This search is exhausting. It's a fatigue of overstimulated awareness. And this awareness is a form of depth, not fragility. When you say you dislike crowds, what you often mean is, I feel too much in these spaces. I need mental room to function. I am not disconnected. I am overwhelmed by my own capacity to sense. This isn't a choice. It's your emotional truth. There is a cognitive layer as well. Minds like yours often do their best work in focused environments. Your creativity ignites in quiet. Your thinking deepens without interruption. Crowds shatter that focus. You can still talk and walk, but your mind is divided, partly navigating the chaos, partly processing it. This division creates a low-level fatigue that builds until you must retreat. And retreating isn't running away, it's restoration. It's preserving your mental clarity so you can engage with life in a way that is meaningful to you. What drains you isn't people. It's the absence of the mental and emotional space you require. Here is a quiet truth. Some minds grow louder in silence. Some hearts find their rhythm in stillness. The world often celebrates the loud, the busy, the constant. But not all brilliance is noisy. If crowds drain you, it's because your mind is built to think with depth, not speed. To process with meaning, not with haste. There is also a biological component. Some nervous systems simply have a lower threshold for sensory input. Lights are brighter, sounds are sharper, movements are more jarring. Your system registers everything in greater detail, so your internal processing is far more active in places others find normal. This is why a simple trip to a store can be depleting. You're wired to notice the humming lights, the clashing conversations, the brush of a cut. Your mind tries to process it all because that is its nature. It's also about boundaries. Internal boundaries are easily overwhelmed by the close presence of strangers. Crowds collapse these psychological borders, forcing your mind to remain alert without a break. This is why you might crave fresh air or feel your shoulders drop the moment you step outside. You aren't escaping danger. You are returning to your natural rhythm. One of the most misunderstood aspects is the relationship with authenticity. You value what is real and grounded. Crowded spaces can feel like the opposite, full of masks, distractions, and half-present interactions. Your mind seeks environments where people are emotionally accessible. This difference creates a tension only you feel. There is a philosophical awareness to the sense of your own smallness within the vast movement of humanity. For a deep thinker, this can be overwhelming. Crowds remind you of the world's scale and the solitude within it, but they also remind you of the inner space that no crowd can ever touch. This awareness makes you introspective, and introspection requires room to breathe. So when you leave a crowd and finally take a full breath, you are not just breathing air. You are giving your identity the space to expand back to its full size. The final, unspoken truth is this: disliking crowded places is not a withdrawal from life. It is a conscious choice about where you invest your precious energy. It is about protecting the intricate mind you have. It is about honoring your depth, your sensitivity, your awareness. It is about living in alignment with who you truly are, not who you are told to be. Some people bloom in noise, others bloom in stillness. Both are valid, both are necessary. If you are someone who prefers peaceful places, deeper talks, and gentle moments, you are not avoiding the world. You are choosing to experience it on terms that allow you to truly live. If this understanding resonated with you, please consider liking this video. It helps Winds of Thought reach other thoughtful people like you.